Hi, hi, hi. Hello, guys. Welcome back to Smooth's Workshop. It's Terry here, and we are carrying on with the next video. Can't remember which one it is. Of the Star Wars Level 3 1112 kit. Nice, easy kit, but I'm adding LEDs to it. So, yeah. So we're carrying on with the build on this one, and we're really far into the painting stages. Where we left off last time, we've done two lots of masking and unmasking on the wings and everything like that. And we're on to nearing the final stages now of the painting and everything. So, canopy itself, it gives you a decal for it to outline it in the greyish blue. Yeah. So there's like a diamond shape. You've seen the last one, I did the black dash and I put the canopy on and masked it all up and everything. But it shows the canopy in place with that colour around it. We've already done this one. So what I've basically done here is I have done another lot of masking up for the final colour, which will be around the cockpit canopy area. And just where the white tack is, I'm just checking there, I've seen a tiny, tiny little mark. Pushed the white tack back from the edges of the windows a little bit to make sure it gets the coverage, and the same at the back. Yeah, just to make sure it gets in round the edges before the clear goes back in, and the same there as well. Okay, so that's still masked up from before, the front part, and that one, and that one. So I've just basically went round it with the Tamiya tape, and again used the parafilm on the nose cone and the tail end just to keep any paint off and from getting up underneath. So that's that bit done. On the wings, right. In the last video, we did the greyish green insets in the wings, masked them off and unmasked them, and they came out lovely. And we did the little grey sections as well. They've come out good. They need a little bit of touch up, but nothing too bad. Now, the engines, right, here we go. What we've masked off for this time is the grey bands across the engine. Now, I'm going to paint them by brush, and I've masked these up just to let you see. Oh, all the wires getting all muddled up. Bing. I've masked these up just to give me a guideline. I could airbrush them, but we're only doing this bit here and this bit here, and the same on the other side. That bit there and that bit there, and obviously touching up any wee bits of the grey, and that's with my custom colour mix that I made up. And then all that's left in the wings, it's telling me to paint these in a dark metallic colour. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pick them up with the pin wash when I get round to the weathering, because I just think it's a bit too much painting them a dark gun metallic colour. And the engines in here, they tell you to paint them in a black or a gun metallic. I'm probably just going to dry brush them with a gunmetal to pick up a few wee details in that, but more to have it like a weathered worn look, because I mean the engines will be on these and I'll spray them white is what I'm imagining. So I'm not going for absolute screen accuracy, but yeah. So they'll be getting brush painted on both sets of wings, and I'll be firing up the paint booth to go and do the canopy. And that will be done in the XF54 Dark Sea Grey, and I have got one tiny little bit to do in the custom colour on the tail part here. In the middle it says that little circle is the light grey, the same as what these little insets are. So without further ado, I'm going to go off to the spray booth and I'll spray the canopy and let that dry, and we'll get that unmasked and see how that goes. And then with the good old hairy stick, I'll paint up those. And almost done with the painting. After those are done, it's the engines, and we're on to decals. Yay! So, see you in the next bit. Bye. Hey guys, welcome back. Terry from Smooth's Workshop. Oh, sprayed it all. and seem to have got it all. So let's go and see how the masking has done. Will we succeed again with the masking? So the stuff at the front should be easy enough because that was just the paraffin. It's just finding the end of it because this stuff really grips to itself quite well. I'll just pull the camera out and back a bit. There we go. That might make life just a little touch easier. Is it going to come? Is it going to come? Where is the end? Right, it's tweezies. I need to catch this little edge here. As before, I'm going to try and save the parafilm because provided you haven't got it too covered in paint, you can reuse it again. There we go. So that's that wee bit parafilm off. Let's just left the front of the craft all nice and clean, and we'll just get the bit at the back. Now I've twisted this wee bit. See if I can get the end of it. And hopefully on camera as well would be advantageous. I think the end of it is down here somewhere. Ooh, it really gets a good grip on itself, this stuff. Where is the end of the... Oh, that might be it there, actually. Ah, there it is. There we go. There's the end of the parafilm. And we'll just unwrap this bit. Ooh. Okay, so that's all escaped unharmed. Right, let's go for this bit first. I do like the... Starting to like the unwrapping now. Have I got the diagonal line? Is there any bleed? I fear I may have pulled that one off. Oh yes, nice demarcation there. Right, what's this bit? Oh, a bit up the other side. No, this is the long line up along the side of the cockpit between the other grey and this one. I think that looks okay. Right, what's the next bit? This bit here maybe. You will come undone. There's the end. And that's the other diagonal. Let's see, have I got that? Any bleed? Looking good so far. Looking good so far. Right, another main bit along the body. There shall be... Oh, this is all coming off in one go, this. The other straight edge, that looks okay. Then we're coming across the front of the... Oh, just up to there. Right, and then come to daddy. There we go. Right, so the bit for the front of the nose, front of the canopy. Lovely. That's looking really, really good. Obviously, you're not going to see it till I take all the canopy masking right off. Right, what we're going for, right, this back line now. For the bit that runs along the back window. Good answer. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. Even got a wee bit of white in between the grey. Did all right there. Oh, I think that's a pass, that. Definitely a pass. So this was just the stuff to prevent anything going in underneath. And the canopy inside is still nice and clean. And the white tack's still there. That white tack will probably be a pain in the backside to get out when I get round to doing it. But there we have the top half done. Now, I'm not taking the canopy mask off this bit and the side bit yet, because this will be getting clear coated next and the decals will be going on. But as far as that bit's done, that's the painting done of that colour. And it's looking lovely. Really pleased with that. Got a really nice demarcation line between the different colours. So excellent. So that's that bit done. I'll let that fully dry there. And then I'm going to go in and brush paint these. So I'll go and set up for the brush painting. I might show you doing a wee bit of the brush painting and then we'll come back after that. So see you in a bit. Welcome back. Right, I'm all gloved up. I've got a brush. I've just got a wee number 0. It's just a wee Humbrol brush. But I quite like that because it holds a decent amount of paint on the tip. I've got my custom mix of the Tamiya light grey XF66 and XF2 that I used on the body. I've got a wee paint palette here. I've got a little bit X28 thinner in one of them, just if I need to clean off my brush. And a little bit of kitchen roll off to the side. Now, a lot of you guys don't like brushing with Tamiya paints, but this has already been pre-thinned for the airbrush, so it's in a 50-50 mix already. I don't have any bother with the Tamiya paints. It's more the fact that you've got to be quite quick with it. And because it dries quick, because it's alcohol based, once you've painted an area, you don't want to be going back over it again. Once it's started drying or you start getting brush marks on it. So the trick with this stuff is to paint quickly and keep it well thinned. So this is thin 50-50. So that should be perfectly thin enough for my brushing. I might find it's a little touch too thin, in which case it might need 1 or 2 applications. But the trick with this is thin the paint, do it quickly, do it in a light coat, and leave it. And if it needs another coat, give it another one. So going by the diagram on here, there's a little bit in the centre that needs to go my custom colour. So all I'm going to do, I've already cleaned off my brush. I'll pull that across here because it's handier. And I'm just pulling it to the tip on my paper. So sorry if this whites out a little bit. And I'm just going to take a little bit of my paint on my brush, okay? And I'm going to pull it to the tip against my glove, like so. So see how thin that stuff is. Now hopefully you'll see this on camera, but I'm just going to catch the middle. So quick and fast. And round we go. Turning the piece so that I can get some of the edges, and bracing myself on the edge of the piece, and then I get wobbly finger syndrome. So I've got that good enough, and just a light brush, take any brush marks off and leave it. I don't want to rework it after that, because that'll start drying really quick, and I'll see if it needs another coat. If I was then to go in at that and start dragging it again, what will happen is the dried in paint underneath will reactivate and it starts clogging up, and that's where people get problems with the Tamiya paint. So I'll get one of my wings, and I'm just going to, if I can find my cocktail stick, which I think I've got under there, I'm just going to make sure that that's all still burnished down. It is. It's just for guidelines for me. Just so I can go a bit quicker. So I'm just going to draw that on there. Okay. Pull it to a point on the back of my glove. It's nice and thin. And then I'm trying to do this so you can see on camera. I'm just going to quickly, this might need a couple of coats because it's thin, and I've got wobbly fingers for some reason today. And the reason I'm doing it with brush is I'm wanting quite a light effect. Now I don't want that bit on there, so take my cotton bud and I'll just, that'll add to the weathering anyway. I forgot that bit didn't need to be done. Now this is over watered from what I would normally paint with. Normally I would just dip into the paint and dip into the palette beside it. But because I've already pre-thinned it for the airbrush, this might need a couple of applications. So again, I'm just going to go into the paint, bring it to the point of my glove. I'm not wanting it to be too stark anyway. And I'm going to be adding weathering. So it's just and the tape helps me just catch these edges. Try not to rework it. Right, it's not got full coverage. Right, don't keep going at it. Leave that to dry. Go into my next bit. Get a bit more paint in my brush. Yeah, bring it to a bit of a point. Do the same with this bit. Hopefully this is in shot and in focus. Because I'm using the thin paint, the masking tape will help me get a nice clean lines between where I'm trying to paint. Hopefully this is in shot. Again, I've got wobbly finger syndrome. Just bringing that up. Again, I've got it on a bit that I don't want. Not worrying about it too much. Moisten my cotton bud. Take that off. I don't mind if it's a little bit stained. It's going to get some starship filth on it anyway. So I was supposed to leave that line in the middle clear, but I didn't quite manage it. By the time the weathering goes on, you're never going to notice that. Right, so that's it done. Not got again, it's not got perfect coverage. Not bothered about that. Oh, there's a little bit of white tack. Need to get that off. Might as well do it while I see it, because it will annoy me. It can be a bit of a pain to come off this stuff when you use it for masking, the white tack. That was the bit that I helped use for the other wing, to extend the wing. I'm just clearing that panel line out because it's going to get a wash down it. So, yeah, onto this one, same again. Try and remember not to do that bit in the middle, Terry. So, just going to clean that paint off and draw my brush through it, like so, into the actual paint itself. And as I say, this is a lot thinner than I would normally use for brush painting. Because it's been thinned for the airbrush 50-50. I don't normally thin it as much as 50-50. Try and remember not to paint that bit in the middle. Rotate the piece to make life easier for myself. Into the paint, take off the excess, bring it a wee point on my back of my glove. And yeah, you'll notice I'll go quiet when I'm concentrating. I've cut a wee bit of that edge, but as I say, I'm going to be weathering this anyway. With a pin wash. So a wee bit of muck up I'm not really going to bother about. And then this one. Take the excess off. And just try not to be too wobbly with my fingers. Steadying myself on the workpiece. But for some reason today, I don't sleep very well, so sometimes if I don't get a lot of sleep, I get the shaky fingers. So that masking tape saved me missing a couple of times. And that's the whole point of me having it there. It's just to means I can paint it slightly quicker. But without worrying about going off onto the wrong bit. So that's done, that's done. It's all got coverage. It's not perfect. There's actually a wee bit down there that I've missed. So tiny wee touch, and there was a couple of tiny wee touches on, right, there was a tiny wee touch there that needed touched in, and there was a tiny little edge in here needed touched in. What's good is with this being so thin is it'll touch it in and run into where I want it to be. Right, there was a wee bit there it needed touched in. And just in there. And just in there. Just dabbing it in. Right, you might see a wee bit of brush marks, but it should dry out flat enough. Time of clear goes in there and weather goes on, you'll never notice any of that. So I shall lay that on top of there to give it a bit of an angle so it doesn't touch the paper. That's the theory. And on with this one. Exact same with this one. Okay. The masking's not 100%, but it's, as I say, this is just to guide me, make life a little bit easier. So save it, my brush drying on the paint. I'll go into my X20 I put there and I'll just pull it along on my, slightly twisting it as I pull it along my paper. Give it a bit of a clean. And I'll go into the paint, load up my brush, and just take off excess on the back of there, and we shall do this one. Trying to remember to avoid this white bit in the middle. Well, it's quite subtle actually, because it's so thin. I'm just rotating the workpiece to get my best view. You can see how thin this paint is. It's probably a bit thin for brush painting. It's a custom colour, so I'm not making up another batch. I shall do a couple of very thin coats. Alright, so that's that one. This one. Hopefully this is in focus. This camera's not bad for close-up work. And the level of detail on this is kind of soft anyway. Right, try and remember not to do the white bit in the middle. Rotate it round again. You touch more paint. Take the extra off on there. And hopefully this is coming up on camera okay. Yeah, that's reasonably quick with the brush there. And I'll probably find by the time I get to the end of this wing, the other wing will be dry. But I'm going to give it a good 20 minutes or so to dry off. And I might, if I feel it needs it, give it another wee coat. So the wee bit masking's come off on part of this, so I'm just going to be careful here. There was another bit at the back of the engine. But Tamiya paints are really not that bad to brush paint with. As I say, this is over thinned. That's airbrush consistency. Get this one done. Don't think I'll bother with chipping on these parts. Some people do. It's just so small a scale. Sometimes chipping can be a wee bit too much if it's a small scale. But I will be chipping some of the decals, the red ones and the yellow ones, just to give it a bit more. Right, so that's that. There was a tiny wee touch up needed in there. And notice I'm bracing my fingers on my other hand that's holding the piece. There, I need to get the line a bit better there. Did I get that one? There. Let me touch more paint, just a tiny bit, but I'm not wanting too much on the brush because I'm touching in. So I'm going to take off most of it and just come in ever so carefully and touch that bit in. It's that bit touched in, and there's probably one on the other one. There's a wee bit of touch up required on this one. Into the paint, I'm not wanting a lot in it. Bring it to point, take the excess off, and just come in and gently touch in there. And there's a wee bit in there. Right, so that's not got full coverage, that, but I'm going to let it dry off, and then I'll go in with some more. It's just because I'm using heavily thinned paint. Normally I wouldn't have it as thin as that, so I'm just going to let that sit in the palette. I'll clean my brush out. I'm going to let some time pass till it's dried, and then I will do the exact same again, but I'll go over with a thinner coat. So I'm just giving my brush a wee clean. I'll actually put some clean X20A in the one next to it, just for my brush, so that it's ready to go. So just taking that off, and yeah, the brush is clean. Once I'm finished, I will give that a wee solution, some water, and then I'll go into my Master's brush cleaner, just to make sure that the brush is clean. But I think you get the gist of that. So basically that's that part done. I'm trying to keep these to around 20 minutes. I've got 17 minutes in this and 2 other clips. So off camera, I will go and finish that off. And I shall see about dry brushing the engines. And that'll be in the next wee video, I think. Because after that we're going to be clear coating. So anyway, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. It's Terry from Smooth Workshop, and going to end this one here. You can see the results in the next one. It was just a wee just a wee progress update more than anything else. Oh, oh, I've got a magic finger. Yeah, bin those then. So yeah, we're nearly there. So as always, any comments, leave them in the section below. Enjoy your hobby, guys, and happy modelling. And until the next one, see you later. Bye.